Last session we have discussed about the epsilon NFA to the NFA. So we have taken the two examples and we have seen how we have to convert epsilon NFA to NFA. Whereas in the given question epsilon NFA, whenever they have given the epsilon, we have to convert that epsilon NFA to NFA according to the question. Here again I came with one more conversion, NFA to DFA. Here the question gives NFA. So simply we can find it as from Q0 to we have the input alphabet 1, we have two transition from Q1 and from Q0 to Q1 and Q2. So whenever we have the same input alphabet with two or more transition, so we came up to know with that is the NFA. Whereas in the DFA we have the single transition with the same input alphabet, we have the single transition itself. So that means, so first we will see the transition table of the given NFA. So the transition table states and input alphabets. So we have input alphabets 0 and 1. So what are the states we have? Q0, Q1, Q2. Q0, Q1, Q2. Q0 on input alphabet 0, the transition to Q0. On Q0 on input alphabet 1, we have two transitions, Q1 and Q2. On Q1, so on input alphabet 0, we have the same state, that is Q1, and also one more transition, that is up to the Q2. And Q1 on input alphabet 1, the transition is for Q2. So coming to the Q2 on input alphabet 0, the transition is for Q0. And on input alphabet 1, so Q2 on input alphabet 0, again we have one more transition, that is Q0 and Q1. Next, Q2 on input alphabet 1, we have the transition for Q1. Once again check the transition table. So we have taken Q0, Q1, Q2 as the states, and 0 and 1 are the input alphabets. Q0 on input alphabet 0, we have the same state Q0 itself, so I have written it as Q0. Q0 on input alphabet 1, we have two states, two transition for Q1 and Q2, so write it as Q1, Q2. Q1 on input alphabet 0, we have the same self state to the Q1 itself, Q1, and again we have one more transition to the Q2, so written Q2. And Q1 on input alphabet 1, the next transition we have Q2, Q2. So next, come with the Q2 state, Q2 on input alphabet 0, we have the state for Q0, so again we have one more transition for the Q1, so Q0, Q1. Q2 on input alphabet 1, we have the transition for Q1, so we have written Q1. Like that we have to write the transition table for the given NFA. After that, so we will see the step-by-step thing. Q2 on input alphabet 0, Q0, Q1, and we don't have the transition. Now check it once. To convert it in the DFA, first we will write the table states 0, 1. So first state, that is the initial state, we are writing it as Q0. Q0 on 0, we have Q0. Q0 on input alphabet 1, we have Q1, Q2. So write it as Q1, Q2. Now check the states. So now Q0 on input alphabet 0, Q0 state already we have written. Q0 on input alphabet 1, we have reached to Q1 and Q2. Now take Q1 comma Q2 as the new state and write it down here, Q1 comma Q2. Take it as the new state. Why we have not taken Q0? Because Q0 we have already written the state. Q1, Q2, that is the new state. Now write Q1 comma Q2 on input alphabet 0 means Q1 comma 0 union Q2 comma 0. That means for Q1 comma 0 we have Q1 Q2, Q2 or input alphabet 0 we have Q0 Q1. So when you apply union Q0 Q1 Q2, right? Q0 Q1 Q2. So next Q1 Q2 on input alphabet 1. So Q1 on input alphabet 1 we have Q2, Q2 on input alphabet 1 we have Q1. So apply union. So Q1 union Q2, that is Q1 Q2. Now check that new transition. Here we have Q0 Q1 Q2, that is a new transition, right? Q0 Q1 Q2. So next Q1 Q2 already we have written here, so no need to apply. Now apply Q0 Q1 Q2, Q0 Q1 Q2. When you apply union Q0 comma 0, Q1 comma 0, Q2 comma 0, Q0 Q1 Q2, we will get it, right? So Q0 Q1 Q2. Next on input alphabet 1, we don't have any Q0 anywhere, right? So we have only Q1 Q2. So write it as Q1 comma Q2. So now check the new states. We have Q0 Q1 Q2 already we have written. Q1 comma Q2 already we have written here. There is no new states. So stop the process of DFA transition table. Now construct the DFA for these new states. So first we will take it as Q0 is the initial state. The states we have Q1 comma Q2 is the one state. So new state Q0 Q1 Q2. So take it as the states. So Q0 Q1 Q2 as the final state because it has the Q2. Now Q0 on input alphabet 0, we are reaching to Q0, right? So write it as 0. Q0 on input alphabet 1, we are reaching to Q1 comma Q2. So give the transition on input alphabet 1 to Q1 comma Q2. Now from Q1 comma Q2 on input alphabet 0, we are reaching to Q0 Q1 Q2. So write the transition on input alphabet 0 to Q0 Q1 Q2. Same Q1 comma Q2 on input alphabet 1. So we are reaching to Q1 comma Q2. The same state itself. So write it as 1. Next from Q0 Q1 Q2. So the self transition for the 0 input alphabet, that is Q0 Q1 Q2 itself. And again Q1 comma Q2, it is reaching on input alphabet 1, Q1 comma Q2. Write this transition. After writing these transitions, now check it once. So we have Q0 Q1 Q2, Q0 Q1 Q2. So now Q2 we have written in the second state, also make it as the final state because Q2 is the final state in the given diagram. So this is the DFA. So now check it. Q0 on input alphabet 0, we have the single transition. On input alphabet 1, we have the single transition. Again Q1 Q2 on input alphabet 1, we have the single transition 0. So that is reaching to Q0 Q1 Q2. That is also the single transition. So now Q0 Q1 Q2 on input alphabet 0, we have the single transition. On input alphabet 1 also, we have the single transition. So whenever we have the single transition, that we will call it as the DFA. So this is the given question that is in the NFA. So we have converted this NFA to the DFA. Step 1, we have taken the given diagram to the transition table. Then, so whenever we get the new state in the transition table, we will apply to that. So alphabets. That is the conversion of NFA to DFA.